What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another review. This time we're taking a look at 3:10 to Yuma, based off the Elmore Leonard short story of the same name, and is a remake of a 1957 movie. Those are two things I've never seen nor read, so reviewing this movie is going to be based off its own merit without any comparison to any source material that inspired it. So with all that being said, let's just go through this review as quick as possible. My overall thoughts on 3:10 to Yuma is this: I enjoyed this movie. I'm a big fan of James Mangold. I like his work, and this movie is no exception. Now, I don't think that 3:10 to Yuma is a perfect movie by any stretch of the imagination. I have my own issues with it, but as an overall film, I thought this was really, really, really good, and it's backed by two really good performances by Russell Crowe and Christian Bale, who really steal the show. Russell Crowe plays this outlaw named Ben Wade, and I thought he was great in this as the title character, in the role of Ben Wade, this notorious outlaw who needs to be transferred to contention so he can face judgment for all the crimes he's committed. I thought Russell Crowe put on a really good performance as this outlaw. You know, I like the personality that he gives him. This very snarky, mysterious, yet also a guy who's got his own sense of honor to him. I thought Russell Crowe just played the role really, really well. And into comparison, I thought Christian Bale, who played like this down-to-earth, Civil War veteran rancher who is struggling to support his family, and pretty much takes the job of being somebody to transfer Russell Crowe's character to his trial, was also really good in the role. Like, I thought the two characters really mirrored each other really, really well. Like the bandit and the ranch and the reluctant rancher who has to do whatever he can to support his family, and has to take on a job that he's clearly not equipped to do. But since he has war experience, he's going to do it. I thought both Bale and Crowe, to me, fantastic. Their on-screen chemistry in this movie was really, really good. A lot of their scenes and dialogue I thought was really well done, and yeah, they just steal the show for me. In terms of a supporting cast, this movie has got a really good supporting cast. You got Dallas Rabbit, you got Dallas Roberts, you have Logan Lerman, Peter Fonda, Ben Foster, who plays a member of Ben Wade's gang. You have Kevin Durant, and I thought all these guys played their roles exceptionally well. Alan Tudyk is in this movie as well. I thought all these guys played their roles exceptionally well. No complaints from a supporting cast whatsoever. The overall story of this movie is really, really simple. The story of this movie is simple. And it's like I mentioned, Ben Wade is a notorious outlaw. He has to be transferred to contention so he can face judgment, and pretty much a group of people are put together in order to transfer him to face his judgment. The story is very easy to follow. It is extraordinarily simple, so no complaints with that whatsoever. See, a movie is not based on the complexity of its story. It's based on the characters and the relationships and the overall direction. And speaking of direction, James Mangold's direction of this movie I thought was fantastic. I am a sucker for period piece movies. I've been starting to for the last 10 years, I've been becoming a fan of Westerns ever since I saw Django Unchained. And I thought 3:10 to Yuma, this is a beautiful looking movie. James Mangold has a knack for just creating these realistic and grounded stories, and this movie is no different. The production value of this film is fantastic. James Mangold and his cinematographer, Fidan Papamichael, did a fantastic job at creating 1800s Arizona during the Old West. The costumes look fantastic. The set designs are like a spitting image of what you see in the Old West. The dialogue, to me, I thought the dialogue was well written, though I think there's some that could be a little. I think there's some moments where they do maybe a little too much cursing for my taste, because I don't think they talk like that in the West. But it's not enough to bash this movie for. But overall, I thought everything was very grounded and very of the period. I enjoyed all that stuff. If I were to have any really big gripes, I think the pacing of this movie could be sluggish in some areas, and there are certain characters who that this movie introduces. They build up tension with Wade's character, but I think they're dispatched way too easily. For example, the character of Peter Fonda plays a Pinkerton who has an established relationship with Wade. We see him at the beginning of the movie. We see that Wade spares his life, and then when we get to the midway point, he's kind of dispatched very unceremoniously, which I was not a big fan of. There's also a section of a movie where we get to this mining segment of the film, and we get introduced to a character played by Luke Wilson and a few others, and they're also really dispatched unceremoniously by Wade's gang, led by Ben Foster at this point of the film. And I would have given these guys a little bit more of a chance to develop. That's just me personally. And I also wasn't really a big fan of how Alan Tudyk's character of a veterinarian doctor was also killed off, very unceremoniously as well. It's like they're escaping from the mining colony after Alan Tudyk, and his gang saved Wade from being tortured from this mining group, and then while they're on horseback, Alan Tudyk just gets shot when he's bragging about how he took a guy out with a shovel. It's like you could have had him go out in a little bit more of a glorious way, since you had him be the catalyst of having Wade of him saving Wade. That's just me personally. Like, there are certain, and the movie also hints at a potential romance with Wade and this character called M, who's a barkeep played by Vanessa Shaw, but it goes absolutely nowhere. And Vanessa Shaw is just vanishes just like that, with no mention of her whatsoever. And the movie also teases that Wade might have a secret history with Dan's wife, played by Gretchen Mol, I believe. But the movie doesn't do anything with that either. Like, it hints at it, but it never fully expands upon it, which is a shame, because you could have gotten some interesting stuff out of it. Those are like my biggest criticisms with 3:10 to Yuma. Like, it sets up it dispatches certain characters very unceremoniously. The pacing can be sluggish in some areas, and certain characters, to me, are not expanded upon in an interesting way. But those are just my gripes. The overall movie as a whole, I thought, is just spectacular. Not spectacular. I think is actually really, really good. Like, the overall cast in this movie, like I said, is fantastic. Russell Crowe and Christian Bale, they steal the show as co-leads. The cinematography, beautiful and well done. James Mangold's direction, fantastic. The action sequences I thought were really well done, especially the third act, where the big shootout happens, and Ben and Wade shows his true colors by pretty much trying to protect Dan, because throughout the entire movie, Dan and Wade kind of develop this very low-key mutual respect for one another, which I thought was actually pretty cool, because they have two conflicting personalities, but there's also like a subtle mutual respect, and I enjoyed that a lot. And I also like the stuff with Logan Lerman, who plays William, who was Dan's eldest son. And I thought the stuff with him was actually was handled very well also. Overall, I enjoyed 3:10 to Yuma. I thought this was a very good Western movie. If you have not seen it, definitely give it a watch. I think you might enjoy it. As an overall grade, I'm going to give it a solid 8 out of 10. So yeah, those are my thoughts on 3:10 to Yuma. Let me know yours in the comment sections down below. Like the video and subscribe, and I'll check you back next time for more.